Hi everybody, vlog number 2 in 2 days. It's like I'm going for a record or something. Anyway, I have something I want to share with you real quick, and I didn't want to wait a week and a half to share it with you. So, without further ado, why you should wash your sheep. So, if you remember the previous podcast that I did most recently, which was episode 11, I was kind of whining and complaining a little bit about a new yarn base I had received or purchased to dye on. And I said, oh, it's really limp and it's kind of crunchy and I don't really like it and no way am I going to dye on this. So I emailed the manufacturer and I was like, I'm really disappointed with your product that I received. And they said, well, you can return it, or you could try washing a skein of yarn first and seeing how that comes out. So I thought to myself, it's going to cost about $50 in postage to send yarn back to the UK, and I don't want to pay to get rid of yarn. So how about I just follow the manufacturer's advice and wash the yarn? So, magic. I was very doubtful, but I want to show you guys the difference. Here is a skein unwashed yarn that I got from that supplier. If you look at it, it's pretty uneven looking, right? It's kind of crunchy, kind of limp. If I untwist the skein, look at that. Not so nice, right? It's like, ugh, who would want to knit with that? Gross. Which is why I was upset about it. But as my husband likes to point out to me, somebody who makes the product probably knows what to do with it. So he advised me to follow the manufacturer's advice, and I took the advice. I washed it just like I wash all of my hand-dyed yarns. I just put it in a bowl of warm water with some laundry detergent, let it soak, rinsed it out a couple times, no big deal, nothing crazy, there's no huge process. And look at the finished skein, the washed one. It's so fluffy. Look. Nice and fluffy when I undo the skein. It's not limp, it's not crunchy. It has some squish to it now. Look at that. Squish, squish, squish. So, I'm going to show you them side by side, and then I'm going to explain why it worked. Here is the unwashed one. Here is the washed one. They look like completely different yarns. It doesn't even look the same. So here's the reason. I asked the manufacturer why this skein looked like this, and my contact at the manufacturer informed me that they spin the wool, they call it in the grease, like still in the lanolin from the sheep. So the reason it looks oily, or the reason it looks not fluffy, is because it is oily and it needs to be washed before use. So up until now, the yarn I've been using for dyeing and the yarn you've probably bought either from me or from another indie dyer or from whatever yarn company, it gets washed before it gets sent out to you, so you don't get limp, kind of crunchy looking yarn, right? You get the nice fluffy stuff, which is what we all want. We all want the nice fluffy stuff. So here's the difference. Unwashed, washed. Something I wouldn't want to use, something I would want to use. So free information, if you ever buy a skein of yarn and it looks kind of limp and bleh, maybe it just needs to be washed. And maybe some of us should contact manufacturers instead of assuming that the product is crap. So that is my little PSA, my little vlog for today. Wash your sheep. You won't regret it. Yep. Now I can go dye more yarn for you guys. Yay! Bye.